Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be going over the possibility of the new male and female versions of these Pokemon here, Froslass and Gallade, that will be coming into Pokemon Go fairly soon. Honestly, I think it's going to be more so Froslass, but we'll be going over that here in just a moment, as well as talking about all of the new raid bosses. And good news for the people who were not able to find themselves a shiny Feebas, because, well, that is now a raid. Now, I'm going to be doing that Palkia duo later today. We have somebody lined up, and we're going to take care of business. Is it going to be difficult? Not really. If you're going up against Hydro Pump or Fire Blast, it's going to be fairly simple. You're not even going to need a full team of Rayquaza or Dragonites. You can, as a matter of fact, use any kind of dragon as long as it's putting off a decent amount of damage. But you do have to have a Dragonite or Rayquaza on your team for sure. The challenge is going to be trying to take out the Draco Meteor, which in fact is going to be the hardest moveset. So I'm going to try to shoot for that one. Don't expect the duo of that. If it is Draco Meteor, we'll see what we can do because I heard it is quite difficult. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the new raids. And this image is going to be made by LeakDuck. I will be leaving a link in the description so you can check their Twitter out as well. So let's go ahead and hop into the tier 1s. We have Magikarp, which can be a shiny, Dratini, shiny, Swablu shiny, and now the new entry Feebas, which a lot of you did not receive on Feebas Day due to the task being so tedious. You can now go and try to find one of those shiny in a raid at the cost of your free pass or $1. And we're going to get more into that in just a moment here. And then you have Shinx, of course, with a shiny variant, and then the Weasel. And then for the tier 2s, we have Alolan Exeggutor, Kirlia, which I highly recommend that you stock up on those. And if you're competing in the Twilight, I highly recommend that you go for the Sableye because that is going to be a pretty good MVP. And then you have Mawile. And of course, the Sableye can be shiny as well. So go out there and see what you can find. The Kirlias, you may want to hold on to those as well for the evolution of Gallade in the future because there was some sort of data added into the game regarding male and female evolution. So take note of that. We may be even seeing another evolution that requires a female, and that is going to be Froslass, and we have yet to see that enter into Pokemon Go. For the tier 3 raids, we have Alakazam, Machamp, Azumarill, and Granbull. So yet again, if you're entering into the Twilight Tournament and you don't have a good Azumarill or Granbull, you may want to consider doing those raids because those are also going to be maybe good entries. I would say more so Azumarill for the Twilight Tournament, so keep that in mind going into those and looking out for them. And for the tier 4 raids, you have the Alolan Marowak. Yet again, if you're entering into the Twilight Tournament, this is going to be another one of those good Pokemon you may want to use, considering it does have Bone Club, a 3 charge bar move, which is ground type. Going to be super effective to those poison types, as well as Rock Smash super effective to those dark types, so also keep that in mind. But you're also going to be taking super effective damage, Ghost, Dark, and Ground type Pokemon, so you need to look out for that. And you can also find that in a shiny variant. Moving on, we have Togetic, which you can also duo, and then Ursaring, Tyranitar, which I still need to try to do a solo and try to have the clock let me beat it. And then you have Absol, which you can find as a shiny variant still. And then of course for the tier 5 raid, we have Palkia, the newly entered legendary Pokemon, which is going to be Dragon and Water type. And as a matter of fact, duoing this guy here is not going to be so difficult if you have the correct dragons. It's not like you're going to need to be stacked up on 6 Rayquaza or Dragonites. That's not even going to call for that. Unless you're going up against Draco Meteor, you're going to have some trouble. Otherwise, the Hydro Pump and Fire Blast are fairly simple, so you should be able to duo that. And then you have Deoxys, of course, for the EX raid. Okay, so we now have shiny Feebas that you can possibly find in the raids. I predicted this because it was just a matter of time. It was kind of like the Magikarp, and a lot of people were looking for that shiny Magikarp, and of course they're going to pay to do the raids. So what did we see on the Feebas Day with the tasks? They were very tedious. Looking back on it, yes, I didn't go over it the best that I possibly could have. I received 3, and a lot of people were saying, well, that's the reason why you're satisfied with this event. Personally, I went through several events and did not receive a shiny, including the Articuno Day, which I did not bash the event whatsoever. I just took the loss and moved along. That's not to say that people who didn't get a shiny Feebas shouldn't be upset. I'm just trying to clarify that. So, yes, I did get a couple of them, gave one up, and moved along here. I know a lot of you still have yet to find one, but now your time has come with that shiny Feebas. But is there something a little weird about it? Not quite. It's a shiny and now it's a raid, right? But the rates were like a community day, apparently. It was very difficult to complete those tasks. Now, I have a few ideas. Either Niantic didn't think this through, or they wanted to make it difficult, or they wanted you to not find that many. So when they did release the shiny Feebas raid, that you would go and raid them like crazy in hopes of bringing up revenue. So, I mean, you know, this is a humongous company who's gotten so much endorsement, lots of funding. Do they really need your raid passes? Yes, as much money as they can accumulate. Basically, I'm not trying to call them greedy. It's a business, and just that's how it works, guys. So I don't really find a problem with it. Obviously, it's a Feebas, it's a raid, and it's great for a lot of people. Just a little food for thought there on possibly why you did not receive your shiny, or the tasks were a bit difficult. I don't know. We've never really seen anything like that before. So that's just my thoughts. Who knows? Okay, so we're over here on Trails' Twitter. Now, this is something I did not go over regarding those new moves, Blaze Kick, Muddy Water, and Razor Shell. The sounds, they've already been in the game. We just got the actual noise for them. But if we take a look down here, we have evolution gender requirement is now within the game. So that is a big hint that we possibly may be getting Froslass or Gallade, or possibly both in the future. And if that is the case, it is time to prepare. So let's go ahead and look at my stash to see what I have going on for when we do receive these split evolution genders in Pokemon Go. Alright, looking at my stash of routes and snow runs, I'm looking quite nice. So I don't have that many snow runs because I do transfer them. I'm just holding on to a couple that I do have because I know Froslass is going to be a mediocre Pokemon, although it might show some potential in the Great League, so who knows. This is going to be my 100% IV female routes. I just haven't done anything with it yet because who knows if we receive that community day and then they introduce some sort of very quick move, and I'll be able to have my 100 here ready to go. Quite set here with decent IVs and high CP, so I won't have to power them up too much. I do have a lucky mail as well, so we are looking fantastic. What you could possibly do is just maybe walk your routes, or just kind of, you know, look out for them. The best thing you can do right now is do the Curlier raids, and that is going to be the best preparation to get those going for you for the candies, as well as a decent IV male. So it is going to just be random when you do the raids, whether you get a female or a male. All right, and there's another one here. 14, 14, 13 looking great. And like we discussed, the lower IV and attack for your Pokemon is going to be better in PvP. As far as the raids, you want the best IV possible. So I'm not looking too great as far as the PvP aspect, because they're all pretty decent with 14 in attack or 13. And the 2018s, I seem to be getting luckies when I trade them, as well as 2017. So also keep that in mind. You're not going to need those deep 2016 Pokemon to pull out the lucky every single time, because it has happened to me a couple of times in the past. So I do have this beautiful male lucky routes here, which is just great with 11 in attack, so I'm looking happy on that. It's funny because of course the lucky had to churn out the worst out of all of them, and all of these were just simple trades. So alright, there we go. And as far as my snow runs, this is going to be a male, not eligible for the Froslass. And then we have my 98 female that I've been holding on to since 2017, waiting for that Ghost and Ice type Pokemon, and that's what Froslass is going to be. And then we have another female here ready to go. Did I receive this in a trade? No, I caught this one in a raid. Alright, hey, kind of rhymed there. So let's go ahead and look at their stats. Over here on the Go Hub, let's go ahead and take a look at Froslass to see what it has going on for it. This is definitely going to be a Great League Pokemon for you. It's going to be an Ice and Ghost type with a max CP of 2040. Attack 171, defense 150, and stamina 172. So it is decently rounded, I suppose, for the Great League. It's all going to depend on the moves it has, so let's look at that. But first, let's look at the weaknesses and resistances. It's going to be weak to Dark, Fire, Ghost, Rock, and Steel type. So if this was to be released on time for the Twilight event, then this is going to be another option, although it's going to have to look out for the Dark Ghost types, and as well as maybe potentially some of that Fire with that Houndoom in there. So not looking so hot on the weaknesses. Resisting normal, bug, fighting, ice, and poison type. So if you were thinking about bringing this in, if it was even released on time for the Twilight events, then you're going to have that poison resistance because you're going to be part ghost type, ghost resisting the poison. Now let's go ahead and look at the moves. Alright, so we have for the quick moves, Powdered Snow and Hex. And then for the charge moves, we have Shadow Ball, Avalanche, and Crunch. So Froslass, there you go. All of a sudden it wasn't looking so great, but then we move over to the moves and I'm really really wanting this now. With that Shadow Ball, Avalanche, and Crunch option, all of which are going to be great for PvP. Avalanche is just a strong move, especially because you're getting Stab as well as Shadow Ball. Crunch is going to give you some coverage there, as well as a decent move that charges fairly fast in PvP. Froslass is actually looking fairly nice, guys, so get hype. Hopefully they'll be releasing this soon, as well as Gallade alongside it. I'm really interested on how they're going to release Gallade. Are they going to actually wait for a community day? So there you have it, trainers, the new raids. Get out there and see if you can find yourself a Feebas. Share it with your friends so they can hit up that raid too and possibly get a shiny, because that is quite exciting for the people that missed out. And even if you caught yourself a few shinies during that community day, it's still going to be nice to get yourself an extra one. So there are my thoughts also on the male and female split evolutions. Hopefully they'll be coming soon, and honestly, if I had to take a guess on who's going to be coming first, Gallade or Froslass, seeing that we're in the middle of winter in some places around the world, I think that we're going to be getting that Froslass soon. Who knows, we'll just have to wait and see, but I'm quite excited and ready to go with a couple of them, and possibly even use it in PvP to see how well it performs. So thank you for watching, trainers, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.